By default, the application builder stacks elements on top of each other, or side by side if you use a column container or a vertical repeater. But sometimes you want to break out of this layout. For example, you might want to have a sticky button at the bottom right corner of your application that is always visible and available to your user. And if you click the button, it quickly navigates to a certain section in your page. The good news is this only takes a few lines of custom code. In my example, I have a page with a lot of text and a feedback form at the bottom. I want a button or a link that is always visible in the lower right corner so users can navigate to the form with a single click. Here's how to set up. First, I gave the link element a class name so that it can be addressed within my code. Class name is feedback_add. Next, I did as much as possible styling for my link element so that I can reduce my custom code. For example, I already set a border radius, I set a bigger font size, I set some padding, and I set a color for my hover effect. Doing this with the application builder prevents me from doing it with custom code. In my code panel, I refer to my class, but I need to refer to the anchor element inside the class because anchor elements are wrapped inside the div element in Baserow. I set the position to fixed and I position it in the bottom right corner. I also set a width and a height, I set the cursor to a pointer, and I add some box shadow so that it looks like a nice button. Finally, I center the content of my button, being my arrow. I also need to add some functionality, which is done by JavaScript. I select my element, and if I click on my element, I add a scroll into view method with a smooth behavior that sends it to my form. If I have a look at the final result, I have a button that is always at the bottom right from wherever in my page, and if I click the button, it scrolls all the way down to my form.